Good afternoon, Knicks Nation. Happy first day of the week, Sunday to you all. Hope you're having a safe, enjoyable, and healthy weekend. Welcome all of the chat, Senior Beef, Bernadette Lumley, Aaron Spalding, Alfonso Who Cares, Tony Tippett. Welcome, Superstar, my brother. Welcome, who else am I missing? John Pettit, welcome. Who else? I'm trying to scroll up here and see who people with already. Chauncey Beckett, welcome, Chauncey Beckett. Let's see, I said Alfonso, the only DM Dawson, Track Monday, Prezi the Boss. Welcome to all of you. Been running around all day today, literally, and just got in and had my dinner, and now I'm having a little grape juice after dinner. Of course, y'all should know my channel is 18 and over. It's not for no little kids. What's up, Ross, Dutch Money, Kobar Dobbins, Clint Stewart, Joseph Van Demio, Yuri Ark. 2 weeks, Jay Sniper. I saw, where did I see that? I saw that he will be reevaluated. That is, Jay Sniper is asking about OG. So OG will be reevaluated in 2 weeks. Where did I get that? Ian Begley. OG has a left hamstring strain and will be reevaluated in 2 weeks per league source. He will not travel with the team in the upcoming 5-game road trip. So we're without OG for the 5-game road trip. I think we're out Brunson at least 2 games. I mean, he may want to come back. I haven't heard Ian Begley, that is, did not mention anything about Brunson. So knowing Brunson, he probably wants to travel with the team, and he probably wants to play over this 5-game road trip. So, yeah, I think Brunson is, we know Jalen Brunson. If he can walk, he wants to play. So we'll see, what that is. But honestly, I don't know how y'all feel, but I'm not as concerned with rushing Brunson back as I am more with OG, because OG provides the lock, part of Wingstop. He provides a lockdown defense on the wing. OG is probably the only player, and the Knicks have a lot of good defenders, no doubt about that. But he's probably the only one of all the good defenders the Knicks have that can literally guard 1 through 5. He can guard all 5 positions on the floor, and that makes him extremely valuable. And Coach Brown was using him at the 5 in spots during the recent run that they had. By the way, we know the Knicks went 6-1 in the 7-game homestand. So he was using OG a lot at the 5 with this other smaller players in there. One of the things that bother me is people create narratives and create issues that don't exist. I've been hearing people say, well, this size is still an issue for the Knicks. Let me ask you a question. What makes a legitimate issue? That's what I want to know. Like, to me, if somebody says size is an issue, that means they have lost games and will continue to lose games due to lack of size. Now, first off, do we understand the Knicks are now, 8-4? I don't think they have any issue that's causing them to lose a lot of games. They're 8-4, okay? It's not like, they're giving up so many points they can't win. And then, so why are people, well, size is still an issue? No, ain't no damn issue with size. There's no issue, okay? Are we continuing? And you know what I did today? I brought up 2 games, the Orlando game and then the last Miami game, because we had talked about what was lacking in the Miami game. And so in the Orlando Magic game, which the Knicks lost by 17, the Knicks put up 88 field goal attempts and they shot 44% from the field. Orlando put up 86 and shot 49% from the field. Orlando put up 33 three-point attempts and shot 36%. The Knicks put up 36 and shot 31. So the Knicks put up more free throws, more three-pointer and field goal attempts, didn't hit as many. Okay. Orlando got to the line 33 times, and Knicks got to the line 23 times. And again, that was more, I feel like that was more of a function of the ball not moving and getting sticky, with Jalen Brunson. They only had 20 assists the Knicks did against Orlando, whereas Orlando had 29 assists. The Knicks gave up 17 points off turnovers, and Orlando gave up 20. So it wasn't even like, okay, in the paint, the Knicks 48, Orlando 50. It was very close. All of these things were close. The biggest problem was the ball was not moving. The ball was not moving. And as far as rebounding, we got out-rebounded, 37-49. I guess that's why anytime the Knicks lose a game, it's the end of the world. And anytime they get out-rebounded, well, we need more size. This is playground, street ball type observations that don't make no damn sense in the league. Okay, so let's take a look now at the Miami game, which first of all, and then the reporters that were talking to the Knicks in the locker room was talking about the physicality of Orlando, as if that was a point of contention, a problem. Miami is more physical than Orlando. And so the Knicks beat Miami. Now, when you say something is an issue, what is your bone of contention? Are they losing games because they don't have enough size? They're 8-4. So out of 12 games, they won 8. And you're saying to me, size is an issue. Where exactly is it an issue? Can somebody explain that? Because I'm not catching that. If you win 8 out of 12, let me ask you, Knicks Nation, if you were to tell me, or you were to know prior to the season, in the first 12 games of the season, the Knicks would go 8-4. Are you having a problem with that? I'm serious. If the Knicks go 8-4, are you having a problem? Because I feel like people that says size is an issue just need something to say and don't know what the hell they talking about. That's what I'm wondering. So I'm like, where is this issue at? Because I don't see it. I'm saying, where's the issue? Is it causing them to lose? Should they be 12-0 because they didn't have enough size? What I'm wondering. So they're going 8-4. They're 6-1 at home, but size is an issue. Ain't no damn issue. So let's look at the Miami game. Whereas against Orlando, they got out-rebounded, right? They got out-rebounded by against Orlando, they got out-rebounded by 12. Against Miami, they out-rebounded Miami by 5. Offensive rebounds, they got 20 offensive rebounds against Miami, okay? And Miami, and what I didn't know, what I learned in watching this game last night, I did not know. See, when I think of Miami, I'm thinking of a defensive-oriented team that's tough, and the games are going to be, 95, 91, 102, 8, 98, something. But Miami leads the Eastern Conference in scoring. I did not know that. And so Miami leads the Eastern Conference in scoring. Yeah, I didn't even know that. And so Erik Spolstra, again, I always feel like Erik Spolstra is the best active coach in the league right now. I've always respected his coaching ability. But he has changed the way Miami balls on the offensive end. He did. Right? So I'm just like, so anyway, we out-rebounded the Heat. And we out-rebounded on offensive glass by 5. We had 32 assists against the Heat. The points in the paint were again even, slightly for the Knicks, 50-48, slightly in favor of the Knicks. The Knicks attempted 29 free throws, and Miami attempted 34. So then Miami got to the line more. The Knicks took 53 three-point attempts, made 40%, which is good. Okay, so it's the same team without Brunson And we only had 5 minutes of 5 minutes of OG and Anobi against the Heat. So where's the size issue? That's what I'm wondering. Why is there somebody saying there's an issue with size? What is it? I don't understand. And they're using like, okay, Josh Hart's too short. How many times does Josh Hart got to produce 12, 14, 15 rebounds for us to stop that BS about he's not big enough? I'm just wondering. How many times do you have to see that before you realize that's not a problem? That at 6'4", he's the best rebounding guard in the NBA. Yes, I'm saying, but you know what? The Knicks don't lose to Orlando every game they play. And as a matter of fact, let me ask you all, if you had to have a 7-game series against Orlando, you worried about Orlando beating the Knicks in 7 games? I'm not. You worry about Orlando beating the Knicks in 7 games? I'm not. Okay. So why are we? Okay, they got hype. Okay. That's what I'm saying. So why are we talking about size as an issue? That's what I'm wondering. Where is this size problem at? I'm just wondering where it is. Yeah. So like it's like Deuce is not a point guard. He plays point guard, but he's not a point guard. Okay. So I think some people just need to talk about something. Now, this here, Richard Baptiste, this is actually what I'm drinking right now. It's a mixture of dark chocolate. Yeah, it's red, but it's with Merlot. No. Yeah. Merlot, red Merlot with dark chocolate. It's called Chocolate Shop. If you're a chocolate lover that don't want the sugar, if you like dark chocolate, like if I had dark chocolate I had dark chocolate about 2 weeks ago. It was the 86% pure, cocoa. And that tasted sweet to me because of the way my taste buds is now. So I had the 86% dark chocolate. This tastes like that. Yeah, this is good, man. It's called Chocolate Shop. You might check it out. They got it in Florida at ABC. It's good, man. It's good. Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, dark chocolate with Merlot. And I'm not a big Merlot guy, but when you mix that dark chocolate with it, I'm good. I think they play. John Pettit asked a good question. He says, "Do we give Diawara some time with OG out?" I would say it's possible, but I wouldn't say it's automatic. You hear what I'm saying? So you got Diawara, to play, but the way Mike, now look at this last game. Now we know OG only played 5 minutes, right? And we know that Brunson was out. So how many players got rotation minutes in this last game? Check this out. For the Knicks, right? For the Knicks, let me see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So here's Brown. Now people are always talking about Tibbs. Brown has 7-man rotation against Miami. 7-man rotation. So KL, thank you for the $5. Shamet told Brunson to sit back and relax. Shamet was right. I was telling you all summer. I don't care who else they get. Shamet is coming back. I told y'all that. Now we see why. Now look here. So Brown went with a 7-man rotation against Miami. When I'm looking, Diawara did not play. Daddy did not play. Kolek did not play. And I was telling y'all, Kolek is the 3rd-string point guard. Yabusele only got 6 minutes against Miami. Okay, so you had Clarkson, Shamet, Hart, and then Deuce started. Deuce was a starter. And so, so just to answer that question that John Pettit brought up, it's possible that Diawara gets some minutes, but it depends on how Brown feels. Now, would y'all agree with me? Every coach, Tibbs was big on this, but every coach plays the guys he can trust. And if a coach is not playing a guy, for whatever reason, there's either not enough minutes for the guy or the coach is simply not comfortable trusting this guy. Now, we may or may not agree, with the coach's decision. Like, I like Ariel Hooparty. I would like to see him play some 5. But apparently, Brown feels a little different. So he played against Miami. He played Karl Anthony Towns and Mitchell Robinson at the 5. He played both of them. He gave Yabusele about 6 minutes at the 5. So between those 3 guys, they were your 5 spot. Whatever the 48 minutes of 5 were available, MitchRob, Yabusele was 6 apiece, and then you had the rest of it was Karl Anthony Towns. And I kind of understand it because Khalil Ware could not guard. Obviously, he could not guard Karl Anthony Towns. When Towns is hitting the 3-pointer, the way he was hitting it, and by the way, against Miami, he went, what did he do? He went with 3-pointers, 6 of 14. When he's hitting his threes like that, it's almost impossible to guard him because he's going to hit, and he can hit threes. I mean, y'all see, he could hit threes from damn near the logo. They asked him, how deep back can you go? He said half court. He wasn't joking. He could pull up from half court. Okay, so if he's hitting that 3, it's going to be a long night for somebody because he's tough to guard already, and he can go off the dribble and all that. So, and did you hear what Coach Brown said? Rick Brunson said, let's go through KAT for this game. And they did. And a lot of us was looking for them to go, even with Brunson there, to go through KAT more. And look what happened, man. That was, thing is, you can mentally take KAT out of a game, but when he's the focal point of the offense, it's more harder to do that because he's now understanding everything flows through him and he gets much more relaxed. Yeah, I mean, listen, man. People was putting all kind of little cartoon pictures about Brogdon and difference maker and all this. And I told y'all, the dude, I said, we getting Shamet. The question was Shamet and who? Was it Shamet and Matthews, Shamet and Brogdon? It was going to be Shamet was going to be there. That's what I was telling you. Shamet was going to be there. It was either going to be Shamet and Matthews, Shamet and Brogdon, Shamet and Kolek. That's the question. It wasn't a question of whether Shamet was going to be there. He was getting his spot. The only way he would not get it is if he got hurt again. And that didn't happen. And what's up, Gorilla Jakes? So, yeah, so with Brunson, it's a temptation to say, the Knicks play better when Brunson's not on the floor, but that's not smart. Brunson is an assassin. Yes, he needs to move the ball more. And for the most part, this season, he has. I think we can agree, right? For the most part, in this season, the 12 games they have played, the ball has been moving. Brunson has been part of a ball movement, and the ball has been moving. So it's not like he's been the ball hogging all the time, but he does get into these habits. And when he does, it's usually not good for the Knicks. So right now, as a team, the Knicks are averaging 28 assists a game. So that's ball movement, right? You're getting the ball movement. But every once in a while, Brunson gets into this ISO ball, okay? And so I'm hoping he learns not to do that, He seems to want to prove he's all NBA and he's all that. But if he can continue to allow the ball to move and just take over in the fourth quarter, the Knicks are going to be tough. They're going to be tough to beat. They really are going to be tough to beat. So right now, as it stands, the Knicks in the standings right now, they're still, I think, second. Yeah, they're second in the East, 8-4. They're technically tied with Cleveland. They're percentage points ahead of Cleveland because they got one less loss than Cleveland. But then the Raptors, then the Hawks. They're all at the bottom. This is going to be a dogfight all season long. But I'm going to tell you, I don't expect the Pistons to remain this hot. That they're playing unbelievable basketball right now. They really are. What's up, Lion of Judah? They're playing unbelievable basketball right now. Yeah. So yeah, I don't expect them to stay at the rate they're doing right now. The Pistons are really balling, but we'll see. I'm expecting the Knicks to get better. So when we're talking about that, Pistons are playing at their best. There's no more upside, and that's good enough. They're obviously 11-2, so they're good. I think the Knicks got a lot more upside. I think the Knicks got a lot more upside coming. Well, Gorilla Jakes is not just about Deuce scoring. Let me ask you a question. When you observed Deuce in this Miami game, what was his role? Was his role to be a scorer? What was Deuce's role against Miami? Because that's the important question. You can't just type up. It's not like Deuce is going to get 15 shots, and so he's got to start nailing them. Deuce against Miami, he's not been getting a lot of shots, period. But against Miami, he took 10 shots. And I think that's the most I've seen him take in a while. He doesn't take a lot of shots. He's very efficient. But Deuce's role is to facilitate, exactly, organic. Facilitate the basketball. When you want to know Deuce's contribution, you want to know what he's doing, look at the assist totals. So they Knicks against Miami, they had 32 assists. That's Deuce moving that basketball. Okay. And Deuce doesn't force shots. So he's going to take a shot if he has it. He's not going to take it if he doesn't have it. So he had actually, did he have 15? I don't think he did. I think Deuce had 9. Deuce had 9 points against Miami. So he had 9. He was 4 of 10 from the field, 1 of 6 from 3. So he wasn't hitting his 3-point at a high level. But that's, Deuce is a 40% 3-point shooter. So he had an off night there. But he is moving the basketball. Okay. What's up, Dio? He's moving the basketball and he's facilitating. And he's playing, of course, high-level defense all the time. So this is what you want from Deuce. He's not going to just get points because in the G League, Deuce did everything. He's dribbling the ball up. He's scoring. He's setting the offense up. So that's why you saw 29 points a game. But in the big time, he's got KAT. He's got cast the character Jordan Clarkson. He's got Shamet. He's got people that can shoot the ball. So he's not going to have to do all that. This is the thing. Pereira Tom asked, should Josh Hart start? That's a good question. Because if OG wasn't hurt, Josh Hart would not start. But OG is hurt, and he's going to be missing 2 weeks. So if you're looking at your bench, you have Deuce, who's going to be starting. But on the bench, still, Shamet. You got Shamet. You got Clarkson. You got Hart. So I would say you have 2 choices. Either you start Shamet beside Deuce, or you start Hart beside you. So to answer Tom's question, it's possible Josh could start, but I wouldn't say it's guaranteed. And this is a blessing because of the depth that the Knicks have. So you could start Josh Hart, and you're going to start Josh Hart or Landry Shamet at the 2 guard spot. I would start Shamet, honestly. I would start Shamet because you remember now, you're still starting Mitchell Robinson. So you got Mitch at the 5. KAT is at the 4. McCall now is at the 3. And McCall's a wing, so he can play the 3. I would start Shamet next to Deuce because now you're going to have that perimeter defense. By the way, some people were rejoicing because they were saying all along that the Knicks need to play zone. Miami coach Erik Spolstra mentioned it was the first time all season they played zone. So it's not like the Knicks needed to play zone all the time, but against Miami, because they were the highest scoring team in the Eastern Conference, they wanted to slow them down a little bit, so they played some zone. But Miami tried to play zone against the Knicks. You want to know why Shamet had 36 points? Miami tried to play zone against the Knicks, and Shamet was the zone buster. This is what happens in the league when you play too much zone. Shamet made them pay because he was hitting that spot up three-pointer. And then he got in a rhythm, and it was too late. Yeah, so I would start Shamet, but I wouldn't cry if Josh Hart started. I would start Shamet. I would start Shamet next to Deuce, then have McCall, KAT, and MitchRob. In that lineup, you still have 4 high-level defenders on the floor. And then, KAT is not – this year he's putting in a lot more effort on the defensive end. So you got 4 high-level defenders in KAT, okay? And you got four dudes that will move the basketball and play high-level defense. So I would go either way. To answer Tom Petar's question, I would go with Shamet, but I don't know what Brown's going to do. He could do either one. To me, look at what happened now. Hart did not start last game, but Hart played 34 minutes. See, that's how you use Josh Hart. You're going to get the same production out of Hart, whether you start him or whether he comes off the bench. So if that's the case and Shamet flows with the first unit, I'd start Shamet. I'm not losing anything by starting Shamet. And I'm still getting production out of Josh Hart, a triple-double type production. So I would start Shamet and bring Josh with Clarkson off the bench. Now, the question is, how deep now you got a 5-game road trip now. How deep in the rotation is Brown going to go? So he went Clarkson, Hart, and Shamet. Now you're missing OG. Somebody's going to move up. And you know what? What you and I do not see that Brown and Rick Brunson and the whole staff sees is practice. Brown does put a lot of emphasis on how a guy is practicing. So who plays? Well, I can tell you, I don't think it's going to be Kolek because you have Deuce, Shamet, Hart that could all play guard. They could all set the offense up. Even McCall could do it. So I wouldn't say it was Kolek. I would say you're looking at Diawara or Ariel Hukporti, right? I'm thinking you're looking at one of those guys, Diawara or because Ariel Hukporti got in for like a quick cup of coffee the other day. A quick cup of coffee. But so you're looking at Diawara probably or Ariel Hukporti that comes in and tries to fill in the rotation. KAT is always consistent. Do y'all know KAT's career numbers? KAT is 10 years consistent. Can he stay consistent? Yeah, I think that's a no-brainer. KAT, Karl Anthony Towns, like I said, you could pencil in 24 and 12 for Karl Anthony Towns. Just pencil that in. He's going to get that regardless. One way or another, he's too good. For his career, he scores 23 and 11. About as consistent as you could get. So no, to answer the question, Karl Anthony Towns is going to do what he do. You're not going to stop him. Yes. So that's not even to me. That's not even a legit. I got to just say no spite on you, Tom, but that's not a legitimate question. He's going to do what he do. So you're going to get double. You're going to get double doubles from Karl Anthony Towns. Okay, that's just pencil that in. He's going to give you double doubles. That's going to happen. Okay, unless he's in foul trouble and God forbid he gets hurt, he's going to give you double doubles. So, yeah. So we'll see. We'll see how that works. But yeah, I just pencil in 22 and 12 for KAT. He's going to do that unless it's 39, like you saw the last game. Like I said, if KAT has his 3-pointer dropping, it's going to be a long night for somebody. And think about that. I mean, here's a guy, he can go to the basket, he can score. He's a 3-level scorer, legit, right? Right? I'm not exaggerating, right? KAT's a 3-level scorer, man. So if you let him start rocking that 3-point lot, you're gonna have a long night, man. You're gonna have a long night. And look, Even though the Knicks played very well as a team on Friday night, I look at Friday night as one of them games where, okay, they stuck to the game plan. 32 assists, 51 rebounds, right? They stuck to the game plan. But really, offensively, it was you got your all NBA All Star decided, okay, y'all could take the night off. I'm taking over. And that's what he did. KAT offensively, brother just took over, man. And he said, somebody asked him about getting 50, and he said, look, matter of fact, Norman Powell, I saw the Miami Heat side, and he was like, did KAT get 50? And the red guy said, no, he didn't he got 39. He said, oh, I thought he was going to get 50. Because that's how a guy like that, how explosive he could be. When you got a guy that's all NBA like KAT, consistently all-star, all NBA, 24 and 10, 24 and 12, he's always going to be there. The question is his three-pointer dropping? Now, what adjustments will Miami make Monday? I am of the mind that I think Bam Adebayo will play. Let me just double check that. I think Bam Adebayo will play on Monday. Let me see here. Do they have him on the injury list? Yeah, he participated in Sunday's practice, so he probably will play. And so did Tyler Hero. He participated in Sunday's practice as well. So I don't know. They might both play, but so that's a counter right there. You're gonna have Bam and you're gonna have Tyler. Now, Bam can guard KAT pretty much as well as anybody that can guard KAT. So that's one thing. But the difference is KAT, the offense is going to flow through KAT. And when the offense flows through KAT, I don't care who you are, he going to bust your ass. That's KAT is like that. If the offense is flowing through him, I don't care who you are, he going to bust you in your ass. And so you better hope that three ain't falling, because if it is, you're going to have a problem. That's number one. So Bam will come out. They're going to try to be physical, but they're always physical with the Knicks. That's no thing. But did y'all see what Udonis Haslem said to Khalil Ware after the game? Did y'all see that? Udonis Haslem texted Khalil Ware right after the game and said, look at that film. Look at where Mitchell Robinson got you and make the corrections. And Khalil Ware say, I'm going to do that. You're right. I'm going to look at that film, and it's not going to happen again. Now, therein lies the problem. Mitchell Robinson is the best offensive rebounding big in the league. And so Khalil Ware is a great offensive rebound, great talent, only in his second year. So it was just I think it's his second year. So he's telling everybody he's going to keep MitchRob off them offensive boards. I don't think he could do that. That's like saying you're gonna hold SGA to single digits, right? That's like saying you're gonna hold SGA to single digits. I don't think so. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying MitchRob gonna get 30 offensive rebound, but it's gonna be tough for him to hold MitchRob off the boards. Now, without OG, everybody else has got to chip in some boards. We know KAT's gonna do it, but without OG's been getting boards this year because people have to pay attention to Mitchell Robinson as well as KAT. Yeah, that's exactly right, Organic Fanatic. So we're going to see how this works out. Yeah, exactly. So we'll see. Easier said than done, put it that way. Easier said than done. Good afternoon, Coach Hauser. Peace and love, my brother. So easier said than done. So that's going to be interesting to watch. The next thing is Erik Spolstra pointed out, as well as Hakeem Jaquez. Yeah, Jaime Jaquez. He pointed out that the Knicks were getting all the 50-50 balls. And that is true. They were getting all of the 50-50 balls. And that was due to this guy named Josh Hart. Josh Hart, man. He gets the 50-50 balls. And that's why I'm saying I don't mind Josh coming off the bench. You're not going to get any fatigue from him. You know what I mean? Coming off the bench. 34 minutes, that's just him getting warmed up. So did y'all see he got the rebound? It was like, I think it was the fourth quarter. He got the rebound. One man fast break down the middle, flush. See, that's what I'm saying. The Knicks got a lot of weapons. It's going to be interesting to see how Miami counters. Right, with two hands. And he flushed it. I want to see. It's going to be interesting to see how Miami counters because they're going to have to get on Mitch. They're going to have to try to get the 50-50 balls. It's a hustle thing. So you know they're going to hustle hard. But they are, that bothers me. They said that, McCormick? Wait a minute. I'm looking at BSPN. Let me see here. I'm looking at BSPN. I don't see that. You're making me nervous. Wait a minute. You're making me nervous. Produce better. Come on now. What the hell? Hold on. Let me look the injuries, man. Personal. Questionable. I see it. Ah! Can't have it. Can't have it. I don't like that. We need Deuce. We need Deuce in there. If Deuce doesn't play, I'm wondering what these personal issues. How many games has he missed? He missed the whole week one time, right? Personal issues. Is his baby sick? Anybody got any information? I'm concerned about that. I ain't gonna front. I'm concerned about that. Is his baby sick? Anybody know? I'm trying to find out what's going on with Deuce, man. With personal reasons. Hell yeah, we need Deuce McBride. Man, who's this chick? Tiana Taylor. Ooh. I'm looking at X. Ooh. Tiana Taylor, my God. Ooh. Anyway, I'm gonna get my eye off that. All right, so they didn't say Beggs is not saying anything. Sham is not saying anything. No. So I'm not hearing anything. So Kobe White is making his season debut, but I don't hear anything about Deuce. He's talking about Shams is telling us about OG. Got that, but I'm not hearing anything about Deuce. Oh, is that something? Oh, I'm like, I don't know who her ex is, but X marks the spot. That's all I'm gonna say. X marks the spot. When these dudes, the dudes in the league, these millionaires, they can get any girl they want. They can get any. I saw it when I was with Marcus Camby. And Marcus Camby is, I guess he would be a handsome dude. I never seen so many flavors. Every flavor of the ice cream came at Marcus Camby. And the same with Ray Allen. Every flavor, you name the flavor, it was there. Dark skin, light skin, brown skin, caramel skin, brunettes, redheads, blondes. Every flip, tall, short, models, gymnast types. There was all. There was no flavor that didn't come. And that was when they was in college. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I can't imagine what it's like. I can't. Like, I remember one time people was criticizing Kobe because he got charged. Remember, he got charged with rape in Denver, Colorado? And they were like, how can he do that? And it was all of these certain groups of people that try to judge everybody. And I said, well, how old are you? And the guy said, I'm 40. I said, you ever been 19? He said, yeah. I said, what were you like? He said, oh, boy. I said, imagine yourself at 19 and you're a multi-millionaire. You got 20 million in your pocket and everybody knows it. So you going to be all moral then and say no? And half of the guys that I knew were cheating on their wives and criticizing Kobe. It's so hypocrisy, man. So much hypocrisy. So It's hard. You're a young man and you 19, 20, 23, 24, 25, 30, and you got all this money and you got everybody coming at you. I mean, every flavor you could ever dream about is coming at you. That's hard, man. I would never say I would never do it. I could not. I don't care what, because you don't know what it's like. I'm telling you, I seen it, and I was surprised. And the guys, some guys like Camby, he has certain types, and he would really pretty much stick with the type. Camby was really against, he was anti-swirl. If you know, you know. Camby was totally anti-swirl. But Ray Allen, before he got married and settled down, he was trying all this. He tried all the flavors. Ray Allen was getting all the flavors. And actually, I'm not bragging, but I talked to him. I said, listen, Ray, listen, man, you don't understand. You're in college now, but they're not worried about you right now. All of these women know you're going to be a pro and you're going to get a lot of money. You got to be careful, bro. And he said, you know, you're right, Glass. You're right. I said, yes, man, you could be careful. All they want you to do is drop seed and get pregnant. That's it. And 18 years of getting paid. You got to be careful, because Ray was hitting everything. Everything that moved. Marcus was chilling. He was most, like I said, he's an anti-swirl type of dude. And so he was not, there were certain flavors he would hit, certain flavors he would not touch. He was very strict about that. But they're going, yeah. So I'm saying it's difficult, though. It's not easy. So Kobe goes to Denver to rehab a minor knee surgery he had. And here come the staff talking about he raped him and they need money, man. Come on, baby. Come on. We know he ain't raped nobody. You probably jumping all over that boy trying to get money. That's it. You know, that's it. So it's hard. It's difficult when you're that young and got your hormones raging like that and got all that testosterone and you got money. It's difficult. It's difficult. So this, who's her name? Tatiana Brown, probably one of Trump. Probably, you know, he probably got 1 million Tatiana Browns. Exactly, Coach. He making me to lie down in many pastures. I could go on, but I won't. I can go on. You done set me up, Coach Hauser, but I ain't doing it. I'm not falling for the okie doke today. I'm not. No. Mm-mm. Did she take the money? She did, for real. Okay. She must have had baby with him then. She got baby with him. Yeah, when you have babies, man, you're gonna pay for them crumb snatchers. You're gonna pay. You're gonna pay for them crumb snatchers, especially if you got that money, you're gonna pay for the crumb snatchers. You know. Somebody asked me, said, boy, you work, my mom said, you worked real hard when your kids was young. I said, man, I had to feed all these crumb snatchers, man. They wasn't like missing meals and mess. You know, they needed what they needed. You know what I'm saying? When you got to feed crumb snatchers, you better be making some money. I had to work 2 jobs, sometimes 3 jobs to pay these crumb snatchers. And boy, one of the happiest days was the day I could walk into the supermarket and I didn't need to buy diapers. Whoo, that was big, because I had to buy diapers for years. With 4, the day I walked in that supermarket, I said, man, wait, I ain't got to buy no diapers. I was like, wow, I ain't got to buy no diapers. Shoot. So anyway, yeah, so I'm hoping, this is my biggest concern, that Deuce plays tomorrow night. Whatever his issue, whatever his personal, let's get that personal taken care of so we can get you out there against Miami in Miami. Yeah, this is a little troublesome. Because let me ask you now, if Deuce cannot play, Brunson is not playing, you know, I'm going to tell you, let me just guarantee you something. Kolek is not starting. He might play, but he's not starting. So let's take Kolek off the table. I'm sure there's going to be a whole bunch of knuckleheads talking about, we got to start Kolek. No, Clarkson might start at point. I agree with you, Richard Baptiste. He's, to me, that's the guy that's next up. I agree with you. So Kolek might get some, he's going to get some PT, though. I think he will, if Duke doesn't play. But we need Mr. McBride out there. Yeah, I like that Coach Hauser. Clarkson, Shem. I like that. I like that. Yeah. 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 I like that. So yeah, and in general, Bridges, Hart, OG, they all that take turns starting the offense. They all do, really. They all do. Nobody exclusively starts the offense. That's what bothered me, as we know, about Brunson against Orlando. He was trying to exclusively do it and fell right into their trap. Got played, man. Anyway, so hopefully they brush this up. Oh, by the time Ray finished his sophomore year at UConn, he had calmed down. When he went into the league, he had calmed down. Ray sold wild oats at UConn. It was at UConn. It wasn't once he came to the league. When he got to the league, no. Ray was different. He was straight different. Straight different. Totally focused on his game development. He was. I mean, I wish Marcus and Marcus was the opposite. Marcus wasn't playing the field that much in college, but he started doing it in the league. And Ray went nuts in college and then came to the league and calmed down. Oh, Ray Allen was different flavors. The whole Baskin Robbins flavor. He was feeding the needy. He was feeding the needy and being greedy. Yes, he was. Big C Dadone. I hear you. I just today I had a lot of running around to do, which is why I did it when I do it. I like to do it by 12 and get it done with. Then go about my day if I'm taking my wife out or whatever. So today we did it at 3 because I was running around a lot today, and I got home about 2:30, had my dinner, and as you saw, I had my little grape juice, and then that's how we was running today. But I try to actually for my sake, I schedule it 12:30, because then I could do it and be done with it. Nah, I ain't shoot today. I ain't even have time. I did go to this lady about a shotgun for sale though, and we were negotiating. And my wife, I had to first negotiate with my wife. I have 11 guns, and my wife said, "You ain't buying no more guns." And she made me sign a promissory note. Believe that? She said you gonna sign this note that you're not getting no more guns. So I had to negotiate with her on that. My wife is a tough cookie. I said, I'm going to redo this note. She said, what you going to say? I said, I will not get any more guns without your permission. And she said, okay. So I said, the reason I said that is because I'm hoping to get another 12 gauge. Make it even dozen guns. You know what I'm saying? Get another 12 gauge. She said, you ain't getting no more guns. I said, I told you I want another 12 gauge, but we'll talk about it another time. See, you can't argue with somebody like that. You don't argue with your woman. You kind of played it. And I said, yeah, okay, we'll talk about it another time. She said, no, you're wrong. Okay. So I was sitting with some neighbors. We sit around with some neighbors. We're in a retirement community. So you get the neighbors sit around. This one neighbor, man, he has tables and chairs set up in his driveway with tent and everything. And he be bringing out wine and beer, when it's a nice day. So I'm sitting out there and I was telling them, my neighbor happened to get I don't know if y'all know what a kimber is, but he had gotten a kimber from an estate sale. Boy, nice. And he's like, you want my kimber? I'll sell it to you. I said, man, my wife would not let me buy no kimber. That is not going to happen, right? And I said, but I am on the lookout for another shotgun. And there was another lady there whose husband just died. She said, I got a shotgun, my husband's shotgun. I said, really? So I said, I could maybe talk to my wife about that. So I told him I have to sell it to her. They said, what you mean? I said, I got to sell it. So I came to her and I said, Mommy, man, I was over with Pete and them today. Poor lady lost her husband, man. It was terrible. She said, yeah. I said, yeah, man. It's lonely without your man, right? They've been married for 30 years. I said, and she's selling her husband's shotgun. I think I could get it cheap. She said, how cheap? I said, I could probably talk her into like $250. So she said, all right. She fought with me, but at the end, she said, all right. But this is your last gun. I said, I told you I just need one more shotgun. That's it. That's it. So I went to the lady house. It's a nice shotgun too. Wooden handle, wooden pump, nice wood. And I was like, "Who?" She said 500. I was like mesmerized. I said, "Yeah, 500." So then I came home. What my wife asked me first thing, how much you gonna buy the shotgun for? I said, lady said 500. She said 500. I said, all right, look, man, don't be tripping. So then I woke up this morning and I told mommy, I said, look, I'm gonna go back to her and I'm gonna say 250, take it or leave it. She said, I'm with that. I said, I'm gonna go back to her and say 250, take it or leave it. So I came back to the woman. And the woman said, I can't let it go for less than 350. I said, don't sell it yet. Let me go back. Sorry about that, yo. It looked like I got cut off by YouTube for a second. I didn't show no gats, so I don't know why they tripping. But anyway, so the lady said, so I came back and said, Mommy, the gun worth 500. You did your research? I said, yeah, the gun worth 500, but she said she can't let it go for less than 350. So that is to be determined. My wife didn't say no. So if she don't tell me no, she said, huh, and she walked away. If you're listening to me, I take that as a yes. She didn't say, you can't get it. I said, oh, okay. She said she can't let it go through. You did your research? I said, yeah. And I left it like that. Just left it like that. So now I'm going to come back to woman tomorrow and I'm going to say, you ready for this 350? We're going to get this done. The Gunpowder Chronicles. I like that, Mr. Williams. I like that. So yeah, that's what I was doing today. Did that, had to fix my mom's microwave, and then I had to go to get the supermarket and all that. No, Mr. Richard Williams, if she don't say definitely no, I take it as yes. She didn't say no. So tomorrow morning, I'm going to go to the bank because these old people here, they don't have no, they don't have no Cash App, no Zen, Zelle, nothing. So I'm going to go to the bank, get the 350. And then I said, Mommy, you said yes. And she goes, I didn't say yes. I said, it's the last gun. It's the last one. So next time me and Organic go out to the range, Organic, I'm going to have 2 shotties, 2 12 gauge. Oh yeah, I got that. No, not right now. Right now I got other medicine right next to me, which I can't show you without getting cut off. I got other medicine right next to me. 9M squared. I have 9M squared. Well, Organic, we going back out next. Well, you during the week you can't do it, right? Organic. Well, I'm saying we got. I got the outdoor range for Wednesday. I'm retired, man. Sorry about y'all that still got to work. I'm retired, and so I got the outdoor range set up for Wednesday at 12 o'clock. After that, I got it set up for the day before Thanksgiving. That's the following Wednesday. I got that also for 12 o'clock. So, you can do it Fridays. But next time I get a Friday, I will let you know, my brother. But now we're both gonna have shotties. I'm getting another steel plate too, so I can shoot from one, you can shoot from the other. You could be banging that thing. Organic's the one showed me how to properly shoot a 12 gauge. I was tearing my shoulder up before Organic. Organic's a Marine. Don't mess with no Marines, man. They the few, the proud. Don't mess with them. So, what's up, Craig McQueen? The Knicks are looking pretty darn good till they lose a game and everybody start jumping off bridges and acting like the world's going to end. Tomorrow's going to be a tough game if Deuce doesn't play. I ain't going to front. I hope they say he was questionable, right? So it's not definite. They say he's listed as he's personal, he's questionable. So it's not definite that he's not playing. It's not definite that he's not playing. So Organic, if you could come on Friday, I should do it by 12 o'clock. I know you got to pick up your daughter and mess, right? You got to pick up your daughter. So right? So I could get it Friday sometime. I'll check, man. I'll check. Yeah. Okay. So I'll check into Friday. See what we could do. This Friday is probably the last one before 2 weeks because Thanksgiving is next week. I'm gonna have company. I'm not gonna be able to get away. Yeah. Well, Miami is a team with Erik Spolstra that is for sure going to make several adjustments. What adjustments? Well, they're going to try to focus on keeping Mitchell Robinson off the glass, offensive glass. They're going to try to get all the 50-50 balls. They're going to work hard on rebounding in general. Okay. So, and I don't think they're going to go to a zone because Landry Shamet showed them that's not a good thing to do. So they'll probably be playing tough man to man. They're probably going to try to get all the 50-50 because they'll be out there hustling. And they're going to try to keep MitchRob off the glass. As far as they can't key on Shamet, because listen, Deuce could shoot the three. He just didn't have a good game shooting it Friday, but he could shoot the three. So with him, you key on Shamet, leave Deuce open and see what happens. And you got him, Jordan Clarkson, KAT. They're going to try to double up KAT. But the thing about doubling KAT is a passing big. He's not a ball hogging big, right? Well, y'all agree with me? KAT's not a ball hogging big. Okay, he's a passing big. So if and I think the last game, if I'm not mistaken, he only had 2 turnovers. I was impressed with KAT. He had against the Heat, KAT had 2 turnovers. No, KAT had 0 turnovers. He had 39 points, 4 assists, 0 turnovers. What a game! What a freaking game that guy had. So if he, he's a passing big. If they try to double KAT from the outside, somebody's getting the ball. And the thing is, all of those guys that's playing with KAT, if Deuce, Shamet, Hart, Jordan Clarkson, McCall, they cut. All of them cut. All of them cut. Okay. Well, Mr. William, I saw Lee Escobedo say that. He said, no, he was talking not about KAT. He was talking about Anthony Black. Somebody said, I think it was maybe one of the announcers for Knicks said that in college at Wichita State, he was like that. He would dunk on people and whatnot in college. So this is not surprising to them. I knew Shamet could shoot, though. I seen it first when he was in the Clippers and Philly and Phoenix. Every place he went, he's a shooter. But he was going to all, including now, he was going to all these stacked squads, where he was going to have trouble getting on the floor. But he could always shoot the route, So I'm not surprised at that. I didn't know until last year that Shamet could play defense, man. I knew he could shoot, but that brother can play some daggone defense. He really can. I mean, high level NBA defense. Okay? Dio, come on, man. I mean, all right, I hear you, but it ain't hard to watch. If the Knicks are winning, I could watch that all day. If they winning, you know what I'm saying? It ain't hard to watch now. They winning. Let's keep winning. If they were 4 and 8, it'd be hard to watch. But these brothers are winning. Right now, the Knicks are 5th in the East in scoring. No, that's not right. Hold on. Let me come correct. The Knicks are 2nd in the East in scoring. If you're scoring 122 points a game, you're gonna give up some points now. It's not gonna be like you holding people under 100. So I've kind of given up on that, but I focus on the differential. So 6.8 is a hell of a differential. It's actually tops in the East, I think, if I'm not mistaken. The Knicks got the top differential in the East. So that's the key here. Yeah, so it maybe was Mike Brown doing, but I'm saying, oh, you think so? Was somebody sick in his family? God forbid, poor guy. Is that right? I hope he. Yeah, me too, Dio. I'm with that. That's why I love it about having the tapes. But Mike Brown is running some nice schemes. Defensively, but they're scoring a lot of freaking points and they're doing it in the flow. It's not like one guy's hogging the ball, except when JB do it. But I'm saying it's not like one guy's hogging the ball. They're getting 28 assists a game. They're doing it in the flow. So it's cool. It's cool. I mean, I'm like you. I'd like to see a 98, 89 game, but Not now. In fact, it was somebody on the Knicks broadcast said the '90s Knicks would be turning over in their graves to see this game with this much scoring in it between Miami and the Knicks. But oh, is that Mr. William? I didn't hear anything. Oh, so his grandma passed away. Oh, rest in peace to her. I didn't know that. Hey, my grandma was. I was closer to her than my mother. I was closer to my grandmother than my mother, so I can really relate to that. My grandmother, when my grandmama died, that was hard. That was a hard thing, and my grandmama was in her 90s when she died. But that was hard. That was difficult, man. So yeah, I feel for my man Deuce. So, what time is the game tomorrow? Let me see, because that means he probably got to go to Cincinnati, Ohio, right? So the next game is when is the next game? The schedule for the Knicks. What is it? 7:30 tomorrow? I think it's 7:30. Yep, 7:30. So they play the Heat at 7:30 tomorrow. So where's this game? This game is, I think it's on League Pass at 7:30. So, I mean, he might still be able to make it to the game. So let's see. I didn't know it was his grandma. I'm glad it's not his little baby. Any problem with his little baby or his woman? Sorry that his grandmama. Hopefully, he can still. Oh, okay. Really, Baptiste, you coming up with some deep info. I did not know that. Okay. Yeah, my grandmama was like my mother, man. I was close to her. Yeah, she controlled brothers. She had me. She tell me what to do. She was only 4'11". The tyrant, my grandmama, man. But that was my mama right there. When they say I always love my mama, she my baby girl. That was my grandmama. So yeah, yeah, yeah. So I didn't know his grandma was famous either. Wow, wow. Ah, so yeah, he's gonna be at the funeral. I hope he's back though. I'm being selfish. I hope he's back. I hope he's back. And I hope he does what Chris Paul did when his grandfather died. Remember what Chris Paul did when his grandfather died? Chris Paul's grandfather died at either age 65 or 66. He was murdered in the robbery. And he scored 65 the next game in honor of his grandfather. He scored 65. And yeah, something like that. And I hope Deuce come back and do that. You know what I'm saying? Play a game in honor of grandma, man. Let's get 30 tomorrow. Yeah. Yeah, it's right, Mr. Williams. He missed the last free throw on purpose, and he called out the game because he had scored his grandpa's age. That's what he was trying to do. Yep. Let's let Deuce use this unfortunate incident as motivation to come in and do business tomorrow. Yeah. So anyway, let's get this dub tomorrow, y'all. Oh, is that right, Richard Williams? You met his parents? Oh, wow, wow. I know he's close to his family from in Cincinnati. Their family is pretty close, and I think he has a sister that plays ball. Is that how old she was? 90 deal. Well, not that much, but let's just hope he has an inspiring game. Put it that way. Was she 90? Bless her, man. Bless her. Bless her. Wow, she was 90 years old. Bless her. My grandma was 93 when she died. She was 93 years old. Yeah. It's hard though. Still hard. Still hard. Yeah. Still hard. And for 2 years, I lived with my grandmom and my great aunt. They were sisters. My great aunt died. She was 104. And my grandma died at 93. Yeah. Yeah, right? Okay, 90 points, right? Shoot, man, I just hope he comes in and plays and be inspired, man. Yeah, be inspired to produce in memory of his grandma. That's right. So, but I like your suggestion. If Deuce is not playing, I think Jordan Clarkson's next man up, right? Clarkson and Shamet will be out there, and then you're probably going to see some Tyler Kolek get some minutes. So that's right. That's right. So anyhow, oh man, that's right, Dio. I'm with that. I'm with that. I mean, Mr. Williams thinks Daddy might see. I don't know. I don't think so. It appears to me Daddy A is the last guy on the roster, like on a regular roster, not including two-way. But I think Daddy A would be the last guy to get minutes. For some reason, Brown has him at the end of the bench. Daddy A is the end of the bench. So I don't know. And they got enough wings. We need some guards. So I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, I would. Diawara has gotten in before Daddy A before. So we will see what's going on. But one thing, we need to get this dub, though. We need to get this dub, y'all, for several reasons. Number one, if we get a win in Miami tomorrow, right, that's a full game. Miami's right behind the Knicks. So that's a full game pickup on Miami if they can get this dub tomorrow. It's a full game pickup. Or not Miami. It's a half game on Cleveland. It is a full game on Miami, and it's a half game on Cleveland. We could use that. It would be their second straight. Cool, Mobdeep. Y'all crazy today. Y'all on something, man. All right. Yeah, yeah. So I agree with Coach Hauser also. It is. I agree with that. So we'll see though. Hey, and the last time Diawara got some garbage time, I think he knocked down 2 threes. I think he did, right? Or was it 3? The last time it was the game before Orlando, I think it was. Yeah, right. He knocked down some threes, man. I was like, what the hell? Look at that. Look at Diawara putting up the 3 ball, man. I think it was against the Grizzlies. I want to say, let me see here. I want to say it was against the Grizzlies. He put up, he hit, let me see. Oh, no, he didn't even play against the Grizzlies. No, he didn't play against the Grizzlies. Against somebody, he knocked down 2 or 3 threes. So, yeah. So, anyway, we'll see y'all. But, all right. So, give me what y'all think is going to be the score tomorrow against Miami. I'm going to say it'll be exactly like Friday, 142, 140, 132. I'm thinking it's going to be like that, especially if they get Bam back and if they get Tyler Hero back. I'm thinking if Tyler Hero may or may not play tomorrow, but is he questionable? Let me just see what they list him as for tomorrow. Let's take a look here. Miami. Let's take a look at their injury report. They still list him as out, and they list Bam Adebayo as out. He said he can participate much of Sunday's practice. I don't know what that means. And Harrell participated in Sunday's practice. So they still listed them both as out. So I don't know. We'll see. Oh, you think it's going to be 98, 95 Knicks, Chauncey? You bold on that one, bro, because they be scoring. I'm more like organic, 118, 112. I hope it's 120, 112. I want to see them expand their differential. 118, 112 plus 6. I'd like to see plus 8 so we can move that mess up a little bit. Get that dub, Guilford. That's right. Just get the dub. Well, if Deuce is going to a funeral today, then there's a likelihood he could play tomorrow. He could fly down to Miami, right? All right, Clint Stewart, I'm with that. I need Deuce McBride to be there tomorrow, though. Come on, Deuce. Let's go, man. Get that private jet. Have the Knicks fly you down there. Yeah, that's right. So, anywho, man, let me jump out of here. I hear you, Dio. I hear you. It's hard to fathom. I get you. But let's just get this dub. If the Knicks win tomorrow, they'd be 9-4. That's a nice daggone start. Like I said, that's a nice start to the season, man. 9-4. So let's get this dub. Tomorrow, Miami's coming for blood. The Knicks know Miami's coming for blood, and we got to come correct tomorrow. It's going to be very important that we get this. They got to come ready to play. So let's get tough. Let's get right. I think Shamet can have a decent game tomorrow. Again, I think he can. Y'all, please be safe. Let's enjoy these games tomorrow. Y'all enjoy. If you're watching football today, enjoy it. Hey, did anybody see that? Did the Mets re-sign the first baseman? What's his name? Alfonso. Did the Mets re-sign the first baseman? I'm looking for that. Y'all know? Did the Mets re-sign the first baseman? That's what I wanted to know. I know they're trying to re-sign the reliever, Pete Alonso. Did they re-sign him? I don't know. I know they were trying to talk about re-signing him. I hope they do. I hope they do. Anyway, that's the news I'm waiting for outside of the Knicks. Sign Pete Alonso and re-sign that daggone reliever. They did? Okay. Let's see what happens. Not yet? Okay. Let's see what happens. Anyway, y'all enjoy the rest of your weekend. If you got to work tomorrow, I'm sorry. If you don't, still enjoy your weekend. Be safe out here. Avoid problems. And yes, we will talk tomorrow. Boston will outbid us. I hate Boston. But all right, we'll see what happens. Anyway, y'all enjoy the game. We'll talk tomorrow. We'll talk after. Yeah, is that right? Well, Stu is asking why we're talking Mets. Because I like the Mets. I'm a Mets guy. That's why. Been a Mets guy for as long as I've been a Knicks guy. They won the championship about the same period of time. Ooh, 7 years deal. That's crazy. Really? Boston, I'd say Boston, good luck. Anyway, y'all enjoy the rest of your day. Be safe out there. My wife just got home. Talk to y'all later. Sure.